All right, are we good? Yeah, we're good. All right, let's do this thing. All right, so today I want to go over some of the things that have worked and helped me grow my business this year, get some new clients, and just be better at what I do. Hopefully it can help you guys, maybe give you some ideas. I've had a few commenters asking for, some business acquisition ideas or like how more new client stuff, I guess. So today we're going to go over that and some of the things that have helped me out. So let's get into it. All right, so the first thing is going to be a business coach. I hired Darryl Stringer. I'm going to drop his name. He is buildabetterphotobusiness.com. I saw him at the PMRE, the real estate photographers conference in Vegas. He did a presentation on it, and I was kind of brand new to running a business, not the photography side of it, but just that whole how do I get clients? How do I run a business kind of thing? And so he was instrumental in helping me do this, and I am not going to share any of the things that he has done specifically for me, just because that's kind of his business and his whole thing, and I want to be respectful to that. But he has been instrumental in helping me grow my business and just become a more confident business owner, because he is just tailored for real estate photography. That is what he has done his entire life, and he is now helping and coaching and mentoring people like myself and like you guys on how to grow a better business. He is a great resource to talk to. He has a Facebook group that is private where you can ask people questions and you can kind of see what everybody else is doing, and he has just an absolute ton, like a library of resources that are great, and you can have a free consultation with him to see if you guys would be a good fit. But I highly recommend him, and that would be the number one thing that I have done this year that really just turbocharged my business and really helped me get in a spot to grow and to take on the work and to approach those clients. And so yeah, I highly recommend Darryl. All right, the second thing that has helped me just get the most business without really having to approach people, I guess, or from doing the standard marketing of I need to talk to X person or make cold calls or whatever, has been getting my website SEO in order and just building my website from more of a client perspective as opposed to from a photographer's perspective. I really struggled with my website because I was building it for a photographer's eye. I was building it from a place where the images were huge and they featured so well and they were really high quality, not thinking about how somebody wanted to interface with my website, not thinking about how people quickly scroll through things and just need to disseminate information really, really quickly and what they're looking for. And so focusing on that, hiring somebody to help you with it, whether it is an SEO business, whether it is a business mentor, somebody who has done it before or who understands that and can really just put it out for you hey, this is why it's not working, this is what I would do differently, and here's the compromises that we can make if you have to have it like that or if you have to have certain things. Because I think getting really clear on who uses your website, who it's for, right? For me, it has been largely for realtors who may be looking for a new real estate client. I mean, you are always just one bad photo shoot from somebody Googling you or Googling real estate photography near you, and if you're not ready for it, they're not going to find you. And so getting really clear on that has really, really helped. And also understanding it from the other types of businesses I want to work with, whether that has been builders or it has been architects or it has been landscaping companies. I've got a big landscaping project that I have done in the last couple weeks that they found me because they just were searching for home landscaping photographer. And because I had done the work to optimize my website for keywords and to build content around that so that people could find me, they found me and they were like, hey, this guy looks great. Let's send him a message. And ultimately it led to getting that client. And that's something that you have to put in a lot of work in the off season and in times when you're not busy, but it pays dividends later on down the road. And so having your website updated frequently, SEO optimized, and targeted for who you want to work with, it will pay off so well and so much more than you think it will, because it sucks at first and it's not a slow game. It is definitely a long game. It doesn't happen quickly. You don't rank quickly. But if you play that game, it can help so much. I get probably 2 to 3 new clients a month just from Google searches, which is pretty wild considering how many like searches there are and how like hard it is for somebody to click in and find out more information and want to contact you. So highly recommend getting that done. And finally, third is going to be getting word of mouth referrals. It's something that I have always been very introverted. I have been somebody who's found it pretty hard to like brag about my work, or not even brag, I guess, but just like promote my work and be proud of it. There's always another goalpost I was moving, right? It was always never enough because it was comparing myself to somebody else or what have you. And I was always afraid to ask for referrals or just come off to somebody, you know, being like really egotistical, but like, hey, you know, can you give me more work, basically? Because if I was good at my business, I would have the work, right? I wouldn't need to ask for it. But understanding that it was more about like, you had a great experience with me. Could you tell other people about that? If you know anybody who I could help out, that would be huge to me. And doing right by those clients, because it's not everybody that you need to do that with. It is the special ones, the clients who are really good to you, who really understand your business, who really like what you're doing, who you really like them. You have something with them. And it really helps build a client base that you will also like to work with, and you don't get that email or that call where you're like, oh, it's this person. You're really, you know, tailoring your client base to be more people like that person. And that has really helped me. I have gotten, most of my clients have been word of mouth referrals. And they've just been kind of off the cuff. I had one who was he's a basement remodeler. He does more than basements, but that's kind of his primary thing. And he was looking to build a website because he'd done this for years, but finally he is now in 2024 needing to build a website, and his cell phone pictures just weren't going to cut it. And so he knew a real estate agent, because who do real estate agents know? They know everybody. They know landscaping crews, roofing companies, builders, custom woodworkers, cabinet makers, kitchen remodelers. They know everybody because they have to, right? Like, they have the most random questions asked of them sometimes by their buyers and their sellers, and they need to know these things, and it helps to be well connected as a real estate agent. So using that leverage off of your best real estate clients is how I've gotten almost all of my work. And you know, they'll say, hey, I'm looking for a good photographer, you know, somebody who's really good, somebody who could handle this workload. Do you know somebody? And I'll say, oh yeah, I know him. I've got this guy, I know that company, I know this. And that is like the biggest thing that they can do, and the biggest thing for you that they can do. And it shows how much they care about you. And I have had agents who are working, like they'll have, you know, they'll use me for their luxury listings, but they'll use another company for something else because I am on the top end of expense around here. Like, I'm in the higher budget. But they will still say, listen, you want the best, it's this guy. And that means the world to me, because when my name is associated with quality and the best photographer around here, that's all that matters to me. And it's something that you can meet you meet those people, and then you like them and you work with them and you ask the same thing. You just say, hey, we had a good couple experiences. If you know of anybody, could you hand my card out? Could you just send them my way? And it's great. It is the best feeling when you get somebody who comes highly recommended to you from one of your clients, or you get highly recommended to them, because it's almost like you know it's going to work out because they are just that type of person. And I think I've only ever had, you only ever get like a bad one when somebody's like, I don't really know them, but they were asking, and that's when my red flag goes up. But usually when you hear, hey, they're really, really good, we really like them, they're one of my good friends, one of my good clients, they're gonna be a good client to me. And I think that having those relationships and putting the time into making sure those clients know how special they are to your business and to you goes just the extra mile. And it's really helped me out in my business, and it has really made a difference for me in getting the right clients to work with, which is what I love doing. And that's it for now. I think we'll leave me some comments about what kind of content you guys would like to see. If you have any more questions about this, it's kind of hard to get into specifics on it because all of us know what we're doing, but don't know what we're doing, if that makes sense. Like, I do not claim to be an expert at any of this. The only thing I'm an expert at is photography. I am not an expert at being a photography business owner. And like I said, I'm fairly awkward. So doing this has been, it's been probably one of the hardest things that I have done, because I am just somebody who, I always worked for somebody before this. My photography was always leveraged by another company, right? And they paid me well for it, and it did great things. I've been in magazines, I've shot for National Geographic, for Google, I've done tons of cool things. But doing it all yourself was always this mountain that was really hard to climb. And so I don't really have the magic answer for it. And I can tell you this, just being really good at what you do is not enough. And if you think that just because your photography is, you know, edited a certain way, or you shoot with a certain camera, and that's going to make you stand out, it won't. You will get beat out. And this is kind of true across all things. It's like you get humbled every now and then, no matter how good you think you are, by like some young kid with a camera who just has the attitude and has the right personality and is just pushing for it. And so I think it's just really important to remember that like a lot works, and even what I say here may not work for you, but I am here to give you my experience, to tell you what has worked for me, and just kind of recommend that as best I can for you guys. And I hope it helps out. But if you guys want to help me out, oh man, that sounded like a product pitch. It's not. Just leave me a comment with some content ideas. I think one of the biggest things I struggle with this is that like, I'm so detail oriented, and this video is already probably so long that I can talk for forever. And it's been, you know, a lot of the negative comments I've had in my videos have been people like, man, he really likes to hear himself talk, which I don't. Again, I think I said this in a previous video. It took me a long time to get comfortable on camera listening to my voice. I was always one of those people that was like, oh God, I can't stand it. But I do like to talk, that is for sure. And I can talk about things I'm passionate about, which is photography and this business, because this has been one of the hardest things I've ever done, probably the hardest thing I have ever done to date, but it's been awesome. And if you guys have any questions, whether it's about, you know, bookkeeping, accounting, taxes, things to buy, camera equipment, new camera equipment, microphones, I don't know, whatever, let me know. Because I think it's something that I get caught up in, like, I want to make really meaningful content to you guys, because I don't want to be one of those content creators that is just like making stuff to make stuff, right? I could make things about everything. Like, I could make stuff about this cool new reflector housing that I got that I think is amazing. I don't know if you guys care. And so it's something that I want to be a little more targeted. So I'm asking for your help in just leave me some content ideas that you'd like to see me discuss, and we will go from there. So thank you guys for watching. I hope this was helpful, and I hope you enjoyed it. And stick around, there's a lot more to come.